once I started doing this saved me so much money in repair on my truck. And I'm going to be telling you guys exactly what I really did. Like, it's not really anything hard at the end of the day. It's just just really is like common sense stuff, pretty much. If you do these things, you're really not going to have, you're going to save yourself a good amount of money each year on repair costs on your Ram. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Good afternoon or good evening, whatever. I can't even get my words out, man. But good afternoon to y'all, yo. Happy Sunday, and I want to share with you guys something that really helped me over the past years, or few years, I'll say, of me being a Dodge Ram or Ram owner, whatever you guys want to call it. What I really did to really help me with when it comes to maintenance, and pretty much what, like, the things I was doing that helped me save like at least a lot of money. Like, my truck, I'm very, very happy that, like, my truck, all these trucks I had, like the last two Ram I had before, they were not really like in as good condition as this one now, because, you know, it was a third generation Dodge Ram, and you guys know exactly how it is with, you know, the older trucks and stuff like that tend to have multiple issues, especially when it comes to maintenance and stuff. But I really didn't experience much of that because I just kept doing the same old thing, especially when it came to my maintenance. And that's what really I feel like now with this truck is the same thing I'm applying, and that's what really helping me to be able to like save a lot of money on repair costs. Pretty much, like, I'll say, to be honest, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like that for you, but doing these things could definitely increase your chance of you having to you know, spend a lot of money on maintenance, especially when it comes to your Ram. So you guys know for a fact the 5.7 Hemi and these trucks are not cheap to repair sometimes on certain things. So you want to really keep up with your maintenance and do what's necessary when it comes to you having any kind of small issue. Could be like the check engine light come on and the truck's still driving, whatever. You want to be able to tackle stuff like that as soon as possible. So what's the first thing I really started doing, like I'm gonna take you guys back to like when I first bought my first Dodge Ram truck ever, and this was a third generation Ram. So when I first got my truck, right, I remember the guy I bought the truck from, like, once again, this was not like a brand new truck or used. I wouldn't really say it was used, but very, very beat up. I'm saying I was just excited for the fact that at that time, you know, I was still young, and that was like my first pickup truck. You guys know how it is. You get your first truck, you're excited. You really don't care much about the looks, none of that. And the truck didn't look bad, but it's just the fact that you could tell that it was a work truck. You can tell it was a work truck, but it sounded very, very good. So I remember getting the truck, and the advice that I got from the guy, because he's seen that I was, I was a little bit younger, so he told me, right, he just said, if you're gonna buy this truck, keep in mind this is a work truck, but there's nothing wrong with the truck. The truck drive, run and drive fine, no check engine light, none is on. He said, this is what I do to really keep up with the maintenance, and this is the same thing you should keep doing to the truck if you want to have the truck lasting for a long time. Mind you, this is a truck that had probably, I'll say 250 to 280, somewhere around there miles. Like, that much miles is on there, and this truck was still driving like a Ram, like a Dodge Ram. I'm telling you guys, man. So he told me to simply keep up with your maintenance, do oil change, do the little things, and that's what I really started, like, applying the same old steps every couple thousand miles. Oil change is something necessary. Back then, like couple years back then. I was running on that truck. I was putting in just a regular blend oil. But then after, when I sold it, when I did my research, seeing that the 5.7 Hemis is recommended for them to have the full synthetic. So I really just started putting the full synthetic in when I got my third generation Dodge Ram. Started putting full synthetic in it, and I started really, another thing I'll say is, if you really just don't understand cars or anything like that, I'm not no expert at the end of the day, but what I can tell you guys is, I just apply the same exact thing, like the same exact knowledge I do with, like, I know a little bit about cars, but I'm not like an expert and stuff like that. I did go to school for it. But what I can say, I just apply the same thing. It tells you in a book. If you got an owner's book, go by your miles on your truck. Every time, let's say you hit 150,000 miles, now it will tell you such and such got to get replaced. You could, depending on what it is, you could wait till it go bad, or you could just replace it, depending on what exactly that part is. Like, sometimes you don't want to wait till something go bad and then you replace it, because it's going to probably cause another issue later on down the line for you. But what I really just do now, like, I will say, man, if you bought your first Ram truck, especially if you got a 4th generation Ram, I would just say, just keep it simple when it comes to maintenance. Just do regular oil change. Run a Mopar oil filter, I would say. I know some people out there don't use the Mopar air filter because they don't think it's a big deal, but to me, I think it definitely does play a part in your truck performance and things like that. So I just keep it pretty simple. I don't really do much when it comes to certain things. Once again, like, far as me, yes, I do, I am modifying this truck, but I don't beat on this truck at all. I don't do any kind of crazy, things with the truck. Every now and then, if I want to floor it, if I'm driving on like the highway or something like that, I'll do it. But I just really just stay on top of my maintenance. It's not rocket science at the end of the day. If I have any kind of lights can come on, like for some reason right now, right, this truck, because I do most of the time, I fill it up every now and then when I get gas. But every once in a while, when I do like a half tank, close to like full, when I fill it up, like, if I haven't filled it up in a while, I don't know if your truck does it, but I'm pretty sure if you don't fill up your truck, like within like a long time, you put some gas in it, will trigger its check engine light to come on. And I had that last week. But knowing my truck now, I know exactly how it is. I didn't really panic about the situation because I know this truck is pretty much, it does that because, number one, the filling up issue. If you don't, that's why it's important for you to put, I'm not saying you should, however you put gas in your truck, but I'm just saying with me, most of the time I just do like a half tank because I don't really drive too much like that on the weekends. So that half tank will last me till like the weekend and stuff like that. And then Monday I'll probably fill it back up again. But when my check engine light came on this truck, I didn't really want to run any kind of codes because I know for a fact it's not the first time it did it. It would normally go off once the gas goes to like a certain amount. It would go off and stuff like that. But as far as everything now with this truck driving, it drives super nice, man. It drives real nice. Except that I'll say I do gotta upgrade a lot. Like I'm still trying to, upgrade some things on here since I lowered the truck, because going over bumps is like one of the worst things. But I really just don't do much like when it comes to maintenance on this truck. I just simply keep up with whatever I can, everything I can, just so I don't have to experience any kind of issue later on down the line. The key, like the goal really, right? All you have to do, if you got one of these trucks, just every miles you hit, 150,000, 100K mile, every 10,000 miles or something like that you hit, grab your owner book, read it, learn about your truck. Pretty much you would know exactly what kind of parts you have to replace at some point in time, pretty much. But if you really just do that, if you don't really know much about cars at the end of the day, you do that, you'll be fine. You know, you ain't gonna have any kind of major issue at the end of the day. But that's just really what I do. And everything, as you guys can see, 153 right now. I just hit 153,000 miles on this truck. And this truck is running very good, quiet, nice and quiet. No major issue when I start up. Normally you hear like most Rams, like they say, over 100,000 miles, you start it up, you're gonna hear that Hemi tick. My truck, I started up, you hear that nice and quiet 5.7 Hemi running nice and strong. But my tip I can tell you, if you got one of these trucks, simply just read your owner book. It will tell you exactly every such and such miles to replace whatever parts you got to replace under the hood. And then another thing is, don't try to avoid any kind of lights. I don't care if it be your tire lights, whatever light that pop up on your dash is your car telling you, your truck telling you, hey, look, I got an issue, something going on. This is what I need. This is what I need you to take a look at it. Sometimes it could be something simple. Sometimes it could be something major. The importance of you taking care of whatever lights come on your dash that way, because if it is something made like real big, you're not really gonna cause another issue and stuff like that. Now I know from my understanding, I don't own like a newer rim. I got a 2014 rim. I know for a fact, the way now they build these newer trucks, when you drive them, right, when you have an issue with one or two things, it has like an effect on like a ton of things. Like, from my understanding, like right now, I give you guys an example. My 2014 Ram, when somebody hit my mirror, my driver's side mirror, when I had to replace it, I bought some, it wasn't used OEM, but they said it was OEM. I bought it from, I forgot what was the website name. So I got the mirror itself, but it ain't come with the heated, you know, like OEMs have like the heated, I can't get my effing words out, but they have the heated mirrors and stuff like that. The real OEM Dodge ones. The one I ordered, they ain't had that, but it did have where you can be able to connect it and do all that stuff, but I didn't have the wires and all the parts for it. So I did connect it, and I didn't plug in that wire. It's a wire that goes in from the door to the mirror itself. I didn't plug that in, and that triggered the check engine light to come on. So for example, you know, little things like that. Now, this is why it's important. If you have any kind of light come on your truck, simply tackle the issue. Get the issue checked out as soon as possible. This issue could grow out on you and cause you to spend more money. I learned a lesson from that. You know, you never know what it could cause though. Just ain't rocket science at the end of the day, man. I be seeing so many people having like a ton of issue with these trucks, especially when I first got this truck. I remember making a video on this truck, and I had a couple comments on there saying these trucks tend to have like a ton of issue, transmission issue, such and such. But don't get me wrong, I'll be honest with you guys, the 6-speed trans in these trucks are not the best, but I do know for a fact the 8-speed transmission is pretty solid though. It's pretty solid, so you can get, you know, a good amount of life out of the 8-speed compared to the 6-speed. But once again, everything comes down to, if you bought used, however that person treat that vehicle before, if they treat it like shit, that vehicle, if you get it from a dealership, a person, that vehicle gonna treat you like shit. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna have a lot of issues. So this truck, when I got this truck, I know for a fact, I seen that whoever owned the truck before me had it for a long time, which is a good sign. And also they kept up with the maintenance and things like that. But it is not rocket science at the end of the day, guys. If you, any car, any truck out there, if you keep up with regular maintenance, you do have a higher chance of your truck being able to, you know, stay out the garage and, you know, see a higher mileage. But this is everything I really have been doing over the past couple years since I bought this truck, and since I had my 2 other Rams. I didn't really do much, so I just did like the regular maintenance thing, and that's what really helped me save myself ton of money now. Now this year, I could probably say this year this truck been in a shop probably roughly I'll say 4 times. But when it was in the shop, it wasn't for anything major. It was just me lowering springs, brake pads. What else I had to get done? I think that's about it though. I don't know. I think that's really about it. And then I had my radiator give up on me. I had to replace that myself. But that's really about it though, man. That ain't really much. But it's me sharing with you guys how I'm able to save myself thousands. I'll say you'll be surprised how much you spent in a year on maintenance on one of these trucks. I'm telling you guys, it get very, very pricey. So you want to make sure you use your head. Just do your maintenance. You'll be good. Do me a favor. You're still watching. Like this up. Subscribe. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.